has talked to buying fuel from Russia. Several countries have refused to engage with Moscow since the invasion of Ukraine, but Mr. Ruto said he is considering all available options. He said he's now going to move on to the agenda of making sure that they have government-to-government relations that will progressively now begin the journey to bring the prices of fuel down. He added that all options are available to them as a country. Kenya is currently facing a deepening economic crisis, sending the price of food and fuel soaring. Despite rising fuel prices, Mr. Ruto defended his decision last week to scrap some fuel subsidies. He said they were unsustainable and prone to abuse. And in the Central African Republic, the trial of a former senior rebel commander in that country has started before the International Criminal Court. Mohamed Said Abdelkani pleaded not guilty to charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity. He is accused of being in charge of a police compound in the capital Bangui in 2013, where supporters of the deposed President Francois Bozize were brutally tortured. The prosecutor will rely on the evidence of 85 witnesses in the trial, which is expected to last several months. Mr. Said's defense team dispute the reliability of the evidence against him. And in the Philippines, 5 rescue workers have been killed in a typhoon that has left flooded homes and millions without electricity. They were washed away in flash floods while carrying out operations in the district of San Miguel, north of the capital, Manila. The district was among those hit hard by Typhoon Noru, with some residents seen stranded on their roofs, while others waded through the chest-high garbage-strewn waters, attempting to pass on supplies. The typhoon caused gusts of up to 240 kilometers per hour on Luzon, where more than half of the country's 110 million population live. Noru, locally known as Karding, first made landfall as a super typhoon, but later weakened at 2020 local time on Sunday. It is expected to leave the Philippines by this evening. In San Vicente, a village in San Miguel, one man was seen futilely trying to brush water away from his door. And people in Russia, the Dagestan region, have clashed with police in the latest protests against Moscow's call-up of 300,000 military reservists. Over 100 people were arrested during the protests in the regional capital, Makhachkala, according to the Independent Russian Human Rights Monitor. It said it was concerned by reports of the province's very tough detentions. Dagestan is the mainly Muslim region of Russia, with a higher death toll than any other province in the war. And in Italy, far-right leader Giorgia Meloni has claimed victory in Italy's election and is on course to become the country's first female prime minister. Ms. Meloni is widely expected to form Italy's most right-wing government since World War II. That will allow much of Europe, as Italy is the European Union's third biggest economy. However, speaking after the vote, Ms. Meloni said her Brothers of Italy party would govern for everyone and would not betray the people's trust. She is set to win 26% of the vote based on provisional results, ahead of her closest rival, Enrico Letta, from the center-left. And in the world of science and environment, in the coming hours, the American Space Agency will crash a probe into an asteroid. NASA's DART mission wants to see how difficult it would be to stop a sizable space rock from hitting the Earth. The demonstration is taking place some 11 million kilometers away, which is 7 million miles, on a target called Dimorphos. The agency says the rock is not currently on a path to hit the Earth, nor will the test accidentally send it in our direction. The impact is timed for 23:14 Greenwich Meridian time today, and telescopes will be watching from afar, including the new Super Space Observatory, James Webb. And in the world of economics, the pound has fallen to a record low against the dollar as markets react to UK's biggest tax cuts in 50 years. In early Asia trade, sterling fell close to $1.03 before regaining some ground to stand at about $1.07 this morning UK time. Chancellor Kwasi Kwarteng has promised more tax cuts on top of a £45 billion package he announced on Friday. Amid expectations borrowing will surge. The pound has also been under pressure due to the strength of the dollar. The euro has also touched a fresh 20-year low against the dollar amid investor concerns about the risk of a recession as winter approaches, with no sign of an end to the energy crisis or the war in Ukraine. Well, that brings us to the end of this afternoon's News in Brief. Thank you for watching Channel 44. I remind you of the Karamoja Cry. We are sending relief to the people of Karamoja. We are sending a permanent solution to our very own by planting their ground, by plowing their ground, planting their ground, and producing for them, which will offer permanent solution to the hunger crisis in the northeastern region. Please join us as we salvage the situation in Karamoja by sending your seed to the numbers that will be available during the services, or you can come to the Miracle Center Cathedral every evening. We are having services, and Pastor Robert Kayanja will be receiving seeds for our people in Karamoja. God will tremendously bless you. Pastor Jessica is coming on with the Marriage Now program as she continues to teach on the glory of God. Please stay tuned to Channel 44. You will be blessed. Enjoy your afternoon.